First time I'm trying to see if it works. Slowly froze. All right. Well, the first time I tried that. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Your favorite New Caledonian Gecko podcast on the interwebs. Today I have a special guest, Eddie. He go man of many names. We'll get into that later. But I was introduced to him as Eddie from Sergeant Geckos. The SGT is it stand for Sergeant? What's the SGT? Sergeant Geckos. All right. Why don't you explain your name, the where how you got into this? And tell us, actually, before we get into the geckos, introduce yourself to us. Let us know who you are besides, outside of geckos. Introduce yourself to the people,
For sure, no
please.
doubt. First of all, thank you. And
Absolutely.
honestly, I've been a big fan since day number one. And
I appreciate
thank
you.
you for your platforms and your other partner too, Jason. Big
Yep,
shout out to
Jason.
him too. Uh, Honestly, there's been a lot of variables. I'm a businessman, and I grew up very humble. Very humble. With time, I learned that it's better. So to go further is better to go with people, like as a team, than to go solo. You'll get there a lot longer and
Absolutely.
faster. So
Absolutely.
I met several people along the way, and one of them, big shout out to him, Project Habitats. He was since day number one, he's been part of my team, and he's the one that actually helped me come up with the name Sergeant Geckos. So I breed terrapins, turtles, aquatic turtles.
You're telling me.
And where I live in Arizona. I live near Mexico, and the big area is called Sonora. So he came up with the idea is like, hey, why don't you go with Sonoran geckos and terrapins? And that's how we got SGT.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Very
So that's
cool.
that's the
Very
whole
cool.
story behind it.
I love when a name has like a
Yeah,
real meaning. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's shows people care. You put something into it. It's part of you. That's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah, no doubt. Basically, I was born. Well, I was born in USA. I was raised in Mexico, and then I was brought back to USA. I think a lot of the times it's the other way around, where like you're born in a foreign country and then you're migrated to a different country to have a better future.
For
But I was
sure.
blessed to be born here and then raised in a foreign country, and
That is
and then
very
come
cool, man.
come
Very
back, and
cool.
and uh, and because of that, the way life kind of opened up the doors for me. I was able to see many sides of like a coin, right? Like I was able to see both sides. I was able to understand a lot of like a lot of people that put in the effort to build America, and I also see a lot of entrepreneurs, and I see a little bit of everything, right? So it allowed me to appreciate a lot of things in life, and here, especially in the States. Learning English was really a tough task for me, man.
Really? You
I
speak
was,
it perfect, man. Blown away that you speak Spanish too. You don't even sound like. I mean, when you're talking now, you would be. Yeah, I don't want to say sound rude, but it don't sound like you'd be able to speak Spanish. You sound like English is your
yeah,
language. That's cool.
yeah. Believe it or not, back in the like 80s and 90s, you had different programs in educational, classes in school where they instilled programs to help people develop their skills that needed, help with, grammar. And I was segregated from my classes, and I was taught specifically. I was pulled out, and I was taught how to learn English. It was that bad. But
Really?
I'm really grateful. This is back in like the Bill Clinton era, like in the early 90s.
What year did you graduate high school?
'05.
I
Oh
graduated
five.
in '02. All right, so you're close, close, close,
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, pretty close. But yeah, man. And then as far as that's just my upbringing. I never knew my dad. I was raised by all females. So a shout out to all the females out there that are
True,
just chugging along and making things happen. And there's a
true,
lot of
true.
females I follow that are reptile keepers, and I truly admire. And that's one thing that's never spoken about is the females out there. So
For
they hold
sure,
it down, man. They hold it down. They're
for
they're our
sure. I tell
biggest
people all
teachers.
the time, man. They're.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's even. I mean, I don't even really know why it's a conversation. I mean, to doubt or think that they are any less capable or talented is pure ignorance. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if anything, a woman has more patience, more insight to reproduction than men. I mean, women. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that the greatest aren't women. To be completely honest, I mean, hey, it is what it is. But what part of Mexico? You frozen?
I'm
What
good.
part
I
of
can hear
Mexico
you.
did you grow up
It's called Baja California. It's right under
in?
California.
No shit. Baja,
Can you
yeah.
hear? Yeah, Baja
Yeah, you're
California.
breaking up.
All right, I'll try not to move that much.
That sucks.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah, it was just getting like choppy. Sometimes the software will fix that itself, but it's best to
Perfect.
just roll. The software stitches it together.
All right, brother. Yeah, I'm from Baja California. It's right south of California.
Been there. I've been to beautiful, beautiful area. I mean, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and the way I got into reptiles, man, believe it or not, I didn't grow up with animals or reptiles. I just out in the streets of Mexico, man, you just see dogs and wild animals out there, and it wasn't part of my world. It wasn't
So
part of
how'd you
my
get
world.
introduced to animals? When did that whole thing happen?
Um, man, believe it or not, I had a dream of a aquatic turtle I never seen before, and that dream drove me crazy. And that turtle was a diamondback terrapin. I later soon discovered that turtle in my dream because of it. It kind of it pushed me to where I am now. I discovered the turtle, and then once I discovered the turtle, um I discovered the New Caledonia species through one of Tiki's videos, man.
Really?
He you know one of his videos,
David's
man.
something, man. David's
Yeah, yeah,
special. David's
yeah. One of
special.
his
You don't realize how many lives he's influenced. For someone is so because he's super chill. David, I've met him at Flora Fauna. He's in person. We've had multiple conversations. He's a very humble, down to earth person. And I don't think he's so humble that I don't think he'll ever realize how many lives he's actually influenced. Like a good chunk of this community would have nothing to do with this if it wasn't for David and his videos.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, man. And I think that putting positivity out there, can it's the saying they say, like, hey man, be nice to people because a little hi can go a long way. You don't know what that person's going through, or and his videos, man, like it started a new passion for me, and that's it opened up the doors. And I never had the pleasure to meet David, but I had the pleasure to meet his good friend Mauricio, Gecko Monster. And
Yeah,
yeah, it's just been a nice network of growing, developing. And I have a lot of friends, followers that are educators. They kind of took me in under the wing and grew me, and developed me, and nurture me. And just being on the platform every day at all times of the hour, I met different kind of people from all over the world.
for sure.
And one of my strongest specialties is networking and communications, and that has allowed me to grow to where I am now. And I think I've only had the account for like 6 months.
You're doing good. Hell yeah. You got more followers than me.
Yeah, man, I owe it all
That's
to
awesome.
like all the people that follow me. That later I like to give a shout out to all the people that follow me. But it's just some of the people you've had on your platform before. So everybody has pitched in a little of their 2 cents to kind of build of who I am. It wasn't just me. Like,
Yeah, let's
it's
let's
just
get into that though. So when you said you discovered New Caledonia, you had this dream about the terrapins, and then you discovered New Caledonian geckos. How when where did this whole breeding operation and business and brand come from? What made you say, instead of saying I just want a pet, I'm going to get a pet gecko? What made you do everything you're doing? What are you doing? Explain to us. Do you plan on vending? Are you just a breeder? Do you plan on opening up a full blown business? Like, what is Sergeant Gecko's plan? What are you? If you could explain to me what Sergeant Gecko's is, what would you tell me?
Oh, for sure, man. Definitely. I think it all starts with the passion. In my case, it started with the vision, with the dream, and some people may call that a gift. And a good mentor of mine, a local friend, his name's Lee Angle. He's got a reptile shop. It's called Ever Evolving Exotics. E. If
Ever
you ever have a
evolving. Why
chance,
do I feel like I know that name?
yeah, he creates awesome YouTube videos on bioactive enclosures. He creates these amazing looking enclosures. Well, one of his sayings goes like, "We can never stay stagnant." The reptile hobby always revolutionizes, so we're always evolving, ever evolving, right? So what started in one thing, it just continues to evolve and evolve and evolve. And I first got into it to follow that dream. I didn't know what that dream was going to lead me to, and then that was before I had my first daughter. And once my daughter was born, like things started changing. They just evolved, right? And it's like the saying that says like you may have a plan, but God has a better plan for you. And I wanted to have amazing pets that I never like. I wanted to show my family. I wanted to show all my friends. Like even to this day, they don't even know what a diamondback terrapin is or a gargoyle gecko, right? Like
They're rare. Diamond. They actually live near. Well, I don't know if they're what species. There's a few different species of terrapins, right? Are they all diamond? Is diamondback terrapin just one type, or there's a few different types of terrapins, right?
oh yeah, there's along the coast of the United
Some live
States.
near me. There's terrapins that live in Connecticut, in the brackish water down in like the marshes and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. You got like your Texans, Mississippi's, your ornates,
Okay, okay.
so many diversification, kind of like the different phenotypes, right? Like you'll get like your whites, your purples, your like
It's
kind of
just
like
one
guards, right?
species. Is it just one species?
Yes, one species, but you'll get like different kind of Morse phenotypes, if that makes sense.
Locales or something?
Yeah, like say like the New Jersey ones look like have a certain look, or the
Okay,
ones down in
okay, okay.
Florida look like more nicer, or vice versa, right? Because they adapt to their habitats.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, my vision was to have amazing pets, and then it keeps evolving, man. Like yeah, some days for now I just breed and see what I can push, see what I can do for fun, right? Because at the end of the day, like a lot of people do have different goals, and my goal is just to breed for now and see push the boundaries as far as like I was blessed to be where I am. Like what can I do? Like not only provide good husbandry, but see what I can do as far as like crazy morphs, right? Like I know for a fact when I first got into the hobby, if you're okay, I have a crazy story, but there is
Stage is yours, brother. Point of this
th-
podcast is for
yeah,
people out there to meet people without having to be in person, right? Like I want people to be comfortable talking to people, buying from people, interacting with people. And one of the best ways to do that is to introduce them to the world. I want the world to know who you are. I want you to tell your stories. I want people to know everything about you that you're willing to tell. You
yeah,
can
no
tell
no
all the
doubt.
stories you want, Eddie.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. I discovered this crazy pink looking gecko, right? Barbie,
Barbie.
right? And I reached out to the breeder. I never heard anything from him, man. Like he's been a busy guy. One day, he answers my call and I was like, "Hey, how
Who,
much for this gecko?"
who had Barbie?
Gecko Gen. Gecko Gen. That's his
You're
handle.
cutting up. NCG?
No, no, Gecko Gen.
Oh,
Edgar
oh,
Gecko Gen. He's in California,
yeah.
up
What's it?
north.
Damn. What's the hell's his name? I forget his name. I knew his name too. You
Edgar. Edgar. Yeah. It was crazy, man. It was like a $18,000 gecko. It was crazy. Yeah. So when time goes by, eventually he reaches out, and I bought another I don't know, like I don't know what they are, but they're very translucent. And I showed it multiple times on my profile, and I tried to contact several like legacy breeders and experts in the hobby and try to kind of help me out. And
I have too.
Just,
Those pictures you sent me, I sent to a few
yeah,
people. Like it drives me nuts. I'm trying to figure it out.
yeah,
I sent it to Paul Morlock. I sent it to my buddy Kyle over at Coos Gecko. I sent it to a few people that deal with gargoyles. Curious to see what people think. I'm curious myself.
yeah, yeah, no doubt, brother. And I appreciate
David, I sent it
you
to David. Yeah.
no, no doubt. Thank you, man. Like I never had the chance to meet any of those guys. I might have recently. I just got a hold of Paul and then Kyle from Q's. But man, those guys are
Paul's
they
Paul is like
yeah, they're hustlers, and they they just got their own thing going on, right? Just different seasons in life for different people. And that doesn't mean, they're like blowing people off. That just means that in their season, they're busy. There's seasons where, people are chasing their goals, their dreams, and they got to go all in on what they're chasing. That doesn't mean, like so and so is not listening to you. That just means that at this moment they don't have the luxury of time to answer your questions. So, I know Kyle reached out. I was like, hey man, I'm going through a lot of testing, college or school. Once I get my degree, hey man, I'll give you a holler. So, but Paul did get back to me, and he believes that Barbie is like a pastel. Um, but I have two visuals. I have the male and the female, and well, basically, long story short, man, she's here in my shed, and she's been a crazy gecko, man. She fires up to like seven different colors.
I want to show it while you're talking about her.
Can you pull up my profile? I
That's
think,
what I'm doing right now. Yep.
yeah,
Get to it here. Is this shit? Oh yeah. All right. Cool. So is this her? This is her right here, right? Or are these are just your
yes,
pastels?
no, that's all her. That's all her.
Oh, really?
And there's missing like three more
All
colors
right,
in there.
guys. So
Like,
this is the gecko we're talking about. He sent me some pictures of her before. This is like, if anyone has the information out there, reach out to Eddie. Reach out to me. We're curious to what's going on with this girl. I mean, you can put her up to the light and watch the blood through her veins. It's insane.
yeah, and they're still missing like the red color and then the translucent color. Um, yeah, you can see right there. That's her in the front, the dark red, and that's her brother.
These things
See,
are
she's purple right
gorgeous,
there. She's purple
gorgeous,
right
bro,
there,
gorgeous.
and that's like a pinkish, purplish. It's not fully fired down, and there you go, purple, deep purple. And then I had a friend, so Red Rack. I brought this to him, and he believed that he thought it was a camera adjusting to the light, but then I put her there to prove how purple she is. That's
I
my
hate
wife
when
holding
people
her.
do that. No offense. I'm not one to talk about negativity, but like when you show someone something and they start telling you what it is, like, oh, it's not look like you, that's the camera. Like the thing's in my hand. I'm telling you, this is how it looks. It's
There you
like
go. See
listen
how
to
purple?
a point.
Yeah. I
She's
mean,
beautiful.
look at all those colors, man. I will say this though about her. Um, I think her I don't know what to call it, but like the pigmentation of her skin at the right like light. If you have like a pink sweater and the light hits her,
Yeah,
she will,
refraction. It's the way the light
yeah,
reflects off colors and
yes, she will adapt to that pink. And I think that's something that I really want to explore more with her. I haven't really, I
how old
don't
is
bother
she?
her that much. She's over 2 years old.
Oh, she is. Okay.
Yes, I don't bother her too much because I still want her to adapt to her new home here.
How long have you had her for?
Um, I'd say close to a month now.
Oh, that's it. I thought you had her for a while. Okay.
Yeah, I just recently just got her.
Okay.
But yeah, I know I've had several questions as far as like how like what am I doing to like how I'm buying all these geckos, right? They're like premium animals here. They're really
Oh,
expensive.
18 grand for this girl?
Yeah. Well, I didn't end up paying that much for her. I negotiated with the breeder, but I did pick up a pair of Korean geckos from Korea from Fido and Delgana, and those were a pretty penny too. It turns out that one of that female you see right there is siblings to Tiki's male he bought,
Which one? This
and
one?
in the middle,
The
that one,
blotch.
that skeleton, and
Your audio keeps going in and out, Eddie. I don't know. Like your audio, I hear it sounds like you're far away and then you're close.
I'm sorry about that, bro.
I see you're good now. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, so which one of these, the blotch is related to David's gecko?
Yeah, so that middle one, that skeleton gecko, came from the breeder Delgana. I bought a pair of two Korean geckos, two a female and a male. And when I got this, I asked the breeder, "Sell me the best you have." That was the best female he had,
It's a
and it
beautiful
turned out
animal.
that that's related to that awesome skeleton he got from Korea.
It's a beautiful animal.
I'm telling you, man, these
Gorgeous.
guys, they got some crazy stuff in Korea.
I can't hear you, man. This is terrible.
So I'm sorry about that, man. Maybe my headphones. I can take off my headphones.
It would work if you did.
Okay.
I mean, it would
All
work
right.
just as good.
Yeah, let me take off my headphones real quick.
There you
Can you
go.
hear?
Hear you
Can you hear
perfect.
me?
Yup, perfect.
All right. Can you hear the white noise from the fan or no?
Hardly.
Okay. If it's too loud, let me know. I can. I can.
Absolutely.
Okay. So yeah, I got that pair from Korea. Can you hear me?
Yep, yep. I'll let you know if I don't.
Okay.
I'll tell you. Yep.
Yeah, it's been amazing. All those guys have been my supporters, man. John, Killer Exotics, Centaur Guards, Gecko Gen. Uh, like I said, I have a little team that helps me out, like do all
That's
this.
good. That's what the
All,
community should do. Of course. This color, Eddie, this thing is insane, bro.
that's all the same gecko,
That's insane. And this is her as a baby then. These are pictures that Edgar sent you.
right? So that upper right, the one that looks like skin color,
Yeah.
yeah, that one. That's her in translucent mode. She can
And
still
she's
fire
still
up like
firing up all these ways now at 2 years old. She still does all this.
yes, yes. Her younger brother El Chapo. He's even crazier. Um,
Really?
right there to the left, you see him next to
This
that
one?
rainbow, bottom.
Oh,
That
this
one right there. If you click on it, you will see that white face reticulated female, and then you'll see El Chapo. How crazy the sunlight just passes through his skin.
is interesting. So what feedback have you gotten? What is everybody saying that it is?
Nothing, brother. I haven't heard anything back. I spoke to
Hmm.
another friend that breeds pastels, steadfast. Uh, he has no idea either. He likes it, but he's like, I I truly believe this. We're probably on the brinks of seeing a new morph being developed with the guards.
With all in a few different ways too. And I think that's personally one of the beauties about the allure with gargoyles is when you look at crested geckos and how much they've evolved. Gargoyles haven't moved. It's bound to happen, right? Like with all the people that are now working with them, I think there is so much to do. It's so exciting just to know all of the things that could potentially be done. It's all the unknown that's exciting.
Yeah, no doubt, brother. I got a big controversial on that one, the eight stripe. So that little baby has eight stripes, and what happened was that all those stripes kind of bled into each other, and they created a big fat, like a two stripe gecko.
Yeah, I don't know much about Gargs. I'm just getting into them now. I have one pair. Well, they're not technically not even paired yet. I have a male and a female that I'm dying to work with, but I don't know much about them. But I do see sometimes how they'll be born with X amount of stripes and they fill into another amount of stripes.
Yeah, man. Um, which one strikes you the most, or which one would you like to know more about?
What's up with Iceman?
Oh, Iceman, bro. Believe it or not, he's a brown gecko.
Brown, really?
Yeah, yeah. He fires up and he fires down.
And he fires down this color right here.
Yeah,
There's no editing here. This is just he's this
yeah.
color.
That one. My friend Joe from Project Habitats, he does all my banner artwork. So there, I don't know if you go down. If you, yeah, that's the
Right here.
real. Yeah, yeah, that's him.
That looks the
That's non.
same to me.
Yeah, non-edited.
And he turns brown?
Yeah,
No shit.
It blows my mind.
How old is he? Where'd he come from?
Okay, this guy came from a good friend of mine. His name's Chris, and his handle is called New Creature Reptile. You guys can find him on Facebook.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of Facebook. I don't log on to Facebook, but
Yeah,
he
I
has
use
an
it for like
Instagram
my
account.
family and stuff.
Yeah, it's just he has an Instagram account, but I just don't know if he's on there as often.
Sure.
New Creature Reptile.
So what's your plan? What do you want to do? Are you gonna vend? Are you breeding? Have you
I'm
produced anything yet? What do you got going on?
just having fun, brother. I'm just having
You
fun,
just
enjoying the
collecting right
geckos.
now? You just collecting geckos?
Yeah, collecting and push. That's okay. That's Lee Shop EEE, Ever Evolving Exotics. And I'm just having fun, brother. Enjoying the hobby, learning, growing, networking. Um, you know, I network with a lot of friends from Spain. Um, it's honestly, man, it's pretty cool, man. Like, I'm a hustler,
Sure,
I'm an entrepreneur, and when it comes to reptiles, bro, like it relaxes me, it keeps me sharp, and it's something like it's a hobby that it's therapeutic, if that makes sense.
for sure. You don't gotta tell me about it, brother. That's why I do this. I don't sell animals. I breed them. I mean, I'll trade one once in a while, maybe put something up for sale, but I do this for me, man, for my sanity, and the podcast, like I said, I do for everyone else. I saw a void that needed to be filled and a lot of fighting, and I felt that the fighting was just because people didn't really understand each other. How better to get people to understand each other than to get them talking? If we could talk, then we can understand each other and people stop fighting. Everybody comes from different walks of life, right? The one thing that we have in common for sure is our passion for these animals. We can't let these things be the source of a fight or an argument when they're the one thing that brings us together. It's
Yeah, no,
so I
no doubt.
just I'm in the same spot as you, brother. I'm just
Hey, bro,
collecting,
I'll tell you
growing,
what,
and
man. You have a long day, whether you're building a frame for work, a house, or just building something. You're like out there, and the sun is beating down on you, and you just want to enjoy these reptiles, and then you have people fighting over these things. It's like, dude, come on, man. I'm just here to have a good time.
you ain't lying. What do you do for a living, if you don't mind me asking? What's your day job?
Yeah, brother. I have a small business. I service pools here in Arizona,
No
and
shit. That's
yeah,
awesome.
and then I have rental properties. And I rent out one of my houses, so I have like residual income coming from that property, and then
Hell yeah, passive income, man. Passive income's the way
yeah,
to do it, brother.
all that just helps me just enjoy what I have, and honestly, I, I'm just here to have a good time, enjoy what I have, and push the boundaries as far
For
as
sure.
sports. And listen,
So
man,
if
I'll get
you're an
sometimes.
entrepreneur, you're always one step ahead of everything, right? I mean, you have to be. As an entrepreneur, you got to be thinking of the next step, the next move, the next everything. What's your next plan for Sergeant Geckos?
Well, brother, I believe it or not, when you become a visionary and someone that I'm not a follower, I'd like to call it as like a pioneer, as paving my own road. I've
Hell
noticed
yeah.
when I got into the reptile community, I wanted to work with whites, and a lot of people did not like whites because they fire up brown, right? Like it's not,
I would love one of these. I never even seen
yeah,
one to buy. I love one. That thing, this
yeah,
Joker is sick.
yeah. That's a female. That's the female, and and my thing is so what as became an entrepreneur, I read a lot of books. I studied great mindsets and how they work and how they got ahead. And a lot of the times, man, they got ahead because they had a secret sauce. And I worked for In and Out, the hamburger joint. Are you familiar with In and Out?
Yeah, down in Florida, we don't got them near me, but down in Florida, I've been to one or two of them.
Yeah. So a lot of the things that I worked for them for over like 6-8 years, and I learned that secret sauce, right? And you look at McDonald's, like you look at all these hamburger joints, right? They all have their own secret sauce or their own different way. There's a lot of hamburger joints, but it's like, oh, I want McDonald's. Well, the Big Mac has the secret sauce, or you go to In-N-Out, they have like the secret sauce. Same thing with Gargs. I was like, how do I get that secret sauce in Gargs? Like, how do I implant like my own line where people can be like, okay, that came from Eddie from SGT. And I paid a lot of money to get that sauce, and that sauce is through Barbie and El Chapo because of the translucency, right? Well, because of that, I can work with a lot of things, but mainly my main focus is skeletons, and like blotches, but mainly skeletons. And my goal is to eventually produce like a purple skeleton, like translucency, skeleton. It can be orange, it can be yellow, it can be purple, it can be red.
Purple fires down white. The purple
Yeah, it's
skeleton pattern fires down like this
yeah.
color's doing. Woo, woo.
And like I said, I'm not here to point any fingers on anybody's project. It's just it's all fun, man. It's a passion for me. It's therapeutic for me.
Sure, sure. So
That
what you haven't have you do you have anything paired together yet? Are you gonna start breeding?
So that gecko you see right there in the middle with the black guy, that came from a good friend of mine, Gecko the Culture, Jack from Zoomed.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he reached out to me, and man, this guy is a cool guy, and he reached
Yeah,
out to
it's my
me. He's like,
buddy.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's one of my little buddies.
yeah, he's definitely a awesome dude, and he reached out and he said like, hey, I have a phantom male. I would love for you to have him so you can pair with your phantom female. Man, it's just been a blessing, man. Everybody's been super nice to me and like super, man. So many doors have been opened up to me in the community. Honestly, I can't think enough. To all my followers, to all my friends, my team members, man, bro. Like I never knew reptile, being into the reptile community like the way
Whole
like
nother world.
that goes. It is truly amazing.
Have you met Mark? Do you know Mark from the Gecko Room?
I've never met Mark.
Really? Have you ever talked to him?
I don't even
He's
know who
bigger.
that
He
is.
breeds a lot of the Gecko Room. He breeds a lot of different species, but he's a visionary too. Mark is always thinking outside the box. He's always he doesn't just agree. If someone says something, he won't necessarily doubt you, but he questions it. The why, the what, the proof. It's not just Joe, Bill, Bob said this, and this, so that's what it is. I'm with it. He wants to see the proof. He wants to see what options are. He's a real visionary. He's someone I think you would have some good conversations with, to be honest with
Sure, man. I would love to meet him.
you. Just in
You said,
general, about geckos in general and species. He'll get you thinking, and
yeah, no
that's when
doubt.
things change.
You said the gecko room. You said right,
The
gecko
Gecko
room.
Room, yep, yep.
Yeah,
His
I'll
name is
definitely have
Mark.
to check him out.
Good dude, man. Very good dude.
I got that gecko right there from Mauricio from Gecko Monster.
Another good dude.
Yeah, that was featured on Tiki's high end gargoyles that feature Mauricio.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that was in one of the videos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did. I did a podcast with Mauricio. He's a very cool dude, man. Another smoking collection, man. He's got a killer collection.
yeah, that comes straight from the Gecko Monster cave
Yeah,
right there.
it looks like it, man. That's his colors, man. When you look at his
Yeah,
animals, they have this very unique. I don't want to say it's pastel, but it's like this
there
neon.
you go.
Oh,
See,
there you
there you
go.
go.
This neon orangish red to him, man. I could look at a lineup of geckos and be like, "That's Mauricio's animals."
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he got some nice animals right there, bro. Honestly, everybody has amazing geckos. And it's they're beautiful, bro. Honestly, it's man. If I bought a gecko for every breeder,
Right?
my wife would throw me out.
What made you choose gargoyles?
Oh man, their colors, and the way they fire down, they fire up. It's like having multiple geckos in one.
Is this the baby?
Yeah, that's the little. That's
God
the
bless.
little
Man, God
reptile keeper.
bless, man. I love kids so much, man. It's not even funny. I don't think people understand the importance of children, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
we
my
could we
little.
could live all of our mistakes. You could fix
Yeah,
all of our mistakes, all of our wrongs in life by raising children properly. You know, there's nothing more precious on this planet, man.
yeah, no doubt. Yeah, for sure, brother. That's the Godzilla line. That's the from the Koreans. That's from the breeder Delgana.
Interesting. My buddy, another buddy of mine, Nelson from. Do you know Nelson from NCG Reptiles?
You know
He
what?
carries a lot of Gargs
You know what? I'm gonna say I do know him. Is that the dude that has interviews with his babies too?
with his
Like
girls. Yeah, yep, yep,
videos?
yep, yep,
Yeah, yeah.
yep.
He's dude. I spoke with him
Yo,
several times.
he's
He's
another
a nice
one,
guy.
man. He's
Yeah, he's
another
very
one.
nice.
He's Nelson is a very unique individual, man. I'll just say that. He's a like yourself, an entrepreneur. He's Nelson. Nelson is the truth, man.
Okay.
Nelson is a incredible human being. Nelson is one of the purest souls. He's very good, man. There's not enough time in this podcast for me to tell to tell you all the good things about Nelson. He's a good dude. Someone else you should talk to if you're looking for people to network with and kick ideas around. And he's got plenty of experience. He was one of the first people, I think, in the States to order from Fetal. Nelson is he's really good friends with David from Fetal. Actually, he's from what I gather helping him learn English.
You know what, brother? If I'm not mistaken, I think it was one of through his videos that I felt confident to order
See,
from Pito. Yeah, so yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about now, and I think I've reached out to him several times. Man, amazing person through the DMs, and I really never had the
sure is.
opportunity to had a one-on-one conversation with him, but
Yeah,
I'm
he's
pretty sure I
someone you
can
keep
reach
on
out
your
right
list.
now.
Nelson's someone you want on your buddy list, man, for real.
Sure. I'll bet you anything. I can reach out right now and send him a DM, and he'd be down to talk. Like,
Every
yeah,
time Nelson's
yeah,
cool. Unless he's at church or with his daughters, man. He's always game to talk geckos.
yeah,
Who's
sure.
this right here? What is
That's
this one?
that's El Chapo. That's Barney's youngest brother. That's the one you were seeing earlier when the light went through. If you keep looking at that
Interesting.
video, you can look at the eyes. You can see the eyeballs through the skin in the top,
Crazy how
like
one
the
animal
front.
can have five looks.
Yeah, that's you'll see as the video progresses. Right there, you can start seeing the light going through him, and it'll be like that blood. That blood reflects through the sun going through, and that's a white base. Mauricio gave me that.
Crazy.
That's a gift he gave me with the other white base. But look at El Chapo. You can see the. It just looks different, right?
Yeah. So does that one though. I'm almost mesmerized by this one. Orange is one of my favorite colors, obviously, the blue and the orange, but that orange right there, man, that gecko is
That was
beautiful.
a that was a gift from Mauricio as well. Like I said, I just been nothing. I've been so grateful and so blessed by the community. I'm lost for words, and honestly, it's an honor, man. It's a true blessing.
Hey, don't ever lose that passion, man. You know, as long as you hold on to that, it's all uphill, man. You know, that's what the
Yeah, man.
community needs, man.
I never had the
You know,
pleasure to meet some big names out in the community, but
you
maybe
will. They're
through
regular
time,
people. You will. You will.
yeah, for sure.
You will.
But I'm just a little guy, man.
So
What's that, bro?
out of all the animals you have, are you looking forward to pairing any particular animals? Do you have two animals that you're like, I can't wait to put this one to this one?
Yeah, I can't wait to breed Barbie. But right now, I just finished going through a crazy phase of acquiring my collection and building it. And it's like you go through different phases, right? Like the first phase is like acquiring your breeders, your animals, and with that comes a lot of investment, right? So I think between my terrapins and my geckos and my shed, I think I'm over 45 grand.
Hey, if it brings you joy, why the hell not, man? So, are you breeding the terrapins? Are your terrapins reproducing?
No, they it takes like 4 to 5 years for the females to mature.
Really?
Yeah, next year I should be able to see some action.
How do they, just to, not to get off topic with them, but I'm curious, is there any special, like, what do you need to do to breed terrapins? Because from what I gather, they're not exactly easy to reproduce.
Yeah, sure. I have I have about 15 terrapins and about like 6 females.
That many?
They take about somewhere between 4 and 5 years to mature, and we're in 2025, so one more year, and I should have females being ready to lay duds. It's a waiting game, brother.
So they do the same thing with turtles. They let them. They lay duds first.
Yeah, yeah, they do. Yeah, they lay duds as well.
Where do you keep them? How do you keep them? You keep them in pool all the time? Do they have land? You keep them in fish tanks? How do you
Yeah,
keep your terrapins?
you got time? I can show you where I keep them.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let me flip the camera here. Let's see. I can flip the camera. Oh, I don't know what it is. Okay. All right. We're going outside. Sorry for.
Do you have a second page for your turtles? For your terrapins? Do you have a
Yeah, I do.
like a different YouTube page or Instagram page rather? Oh
Can you see?
wow, you got a real deal pool. That's
I have,
awesome.
I have a pond back there. So this is one big tub.
Look, they know you're there. They're all excited. They know you're there.
Yeah, yeah. Let me see if I can bring out one. This is one, and
That's
these are
all
not cheap either.
beautiful.
They're expensive,
They're beautiful.
but it's just a little hobby, a passion of mine, and uh,
Sure. Now is that about as big as they get?
oh no, these are young females, like sub adults. Let me go show you two real adults. So
Is there any sexual dimorphism? Do the females get bigger than the males?
yes, they do. They do.
They do.
Can you see this? I have 3 setups back here.
Yup, yup.
Okay, so this is another female. This is a full grown female.
Okay. You keep her by herself?
Yes, because I had 2 males in here breathing her, and I gave her a break. This is another full grown female. This is a ornate,
So what's
and
the
again,
difference? Just the color of the shell, this.
yes, the locality.
But I'm saying, like, what are the visual differences between her and the other one? Like, the color of the shell on the first one was lighter.
Yes, so these ones in the shell they get flowering. So these are called a flower back, and this is a Texan, a super Texan,
Okay.
brown, and they got a big fat head like a pit bull, and they got a
Uh,
yellow head as well. She's being kind of shy right now, but they got a super
so what's
massive
the
head.
difference between what's the definition of a terrapin? Because they're not quite a turtle and they're clearly not a tortoise, right? Well, I guess all of them are turtles, right? Like a tortoise is a turtle, but a tortoise is not a turtle. How the hell does that go? All
Uh,
tortoises are turtles, but not all turtles are tortoises.
yeah, no doubt. Believe it or not, they're actual reptiles too.
Not
These
an
are the
amphibian.
Nope, these are the only turtles in the world that can handle brackish,
Yep, yep.
freshwater, and they're aquatic, and they can partially survive on land, but they want to be more closer to water. If that makes sense.
So do you give them anything to crawl out on? Do they have anything to get out of the water?
Yes, they do. I have little islands on them, so they
Like
can
floating
move.
on? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but what happened was that they were I cleaned out their enclosures, and
Yep.
I wanted to give them a break. So right now I'm pairing them live on your podcast so that you can see the action.
Wow.
So
Wow,
I'll
he
let
went
them.
right to it. He
Yeah,
went right at it. He knows what's up.
they'll so you can see Look how tiny the males are and how big the females get.
Yeah, for
Can you
sure.
see their head difference?
For sure. So do you think they make good pets for people? Do you think terrapins are a good pet
Oh
turtle?
yeah, I mean, yeah, this turtle, you're talking about like 4 or 5 inches max. These little baby
Because
males.
historically, turtles, like, let's be honest, turtles are a handful for pets. I had turtles my whole life, and they're, I mean, you need great filtration systems, the water care. I mean, you gotta, turtles take more work than any snake or reptile, lizard, or anything I've ever had.
Yeah, definitely, man. You got to be into aquatics to be able to appreciate these turtles.
So
But
how are you
I
filtering those? What's your filtration system like for all those tubs?
Oh sure. I have let me see. I know I got frozen on the screen, but I'm hoping it'll. Can you see me?
Well, I can hear you, so the video will probably catch up. Nope, lost you. We lost you. Back on, buddy.
All right. Can you see me?
Yep, you're back.
Okay. So can you see the filtration?
Oh, wow.
This
Is
is a
that a
little
damn
baby
pool
filtration.
filter?
Oh no, this is a small filtration.
For
Uh
a fish? For what? It looks like it's for a swimming pool.
no. Let me show you. That's the
Jeez.
pool filter. Yeah, it's
So are
all
you
my.
using that for the turtles, or do you actually have a swimming pool?
Well, I have another pond, but it's pretty bad right now. I don't have anything in the pond, but I filter the big pond. Um,
That's freaking cool, dude.
Dude, it's my knowledge in pools and the plumbing that I use
Yeah.
that knowledge to benefit the turtles.
Yeah. I mean, water looks clean. Are you running any? Is that just fresh? Are you running any salt in there, like some cichlid salt? What are you running the pH at?
Yes, these are there's this is definitely brackish water, salt water.
You got
And
fish in there?
yeah, I do. They tolerate the salt. These little guppies.
What's that? That's not a big fish on the bottom. What the hell's that
Oh,
down there?
that's a suckerfish.
All right.
Yeah,
Plato?
yeah,
They tolerate brackish too, huh?
yeah,
Wow. You
yeah,
got it going on over there, Eddie. You got
yeah.
all types of stuff.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Appreciate that.
That's awesome. Very clean too. I love how everything you have is super clean and super neat.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Awesome.
Sorry, my my wife just
Is that the missus? Hello,
yeah,
how are you? How
she
you doing?
she good. How are you? She just had
Wonderful.
she just hatched something, and I told her I was gonna be on the podcast, but gecko
What
duty.
hatched? Something hatched? You said something hatched?
Yeah, she had a gecko hatch.
Oh, so she's breeding geckos?
Yeah, um, she had one of her eggs hatched.
What are they? Gargoyles?
Leopard geckos.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah,
you didn't
she
mention that, Eddie. You didn't say you got leopard geckos going on over there, too.
yeah she just had a little baby hatch.
That's awesome. You know,
I
the
have
one
quite a few
gecko I
babies.
have like
Yeah.
15 species. I've always wanted a leopard gecko, and I never got one.
Do, well,
There's so many
man,
morphs.
hey,
There's
I
so
might
many
be able to
morphs.
send you
I
one.
don't know what to do. I don't know where to go with all the morphs. Every time I look at them, I'm like, how have I not had a leopard gecko? I've got cave geckos. I got, 15, 16 different species of geckos, and I love leopard geckos, but I don't know which direction to go in, and I always just panic, and I'm like, oh, all right, that's it. Forget it.
Don't
I don't
worry
know what
about
to
that, man.
do,
We'll
and I just
hey,
stop
listen,
looking.
we've been blessed with a lot of cool geckos here. I wouldn't mind, and my wife wouldn't mind blessing you with one. We'll send you pictures, and you choose.
Dude, that would be amazing, man.
Yeah, yeah, for
Again,
sure.
like I said, I mean, I feel like it feels so like a caveman. Like, how do I not and never had a leopard gecko? Like, they're one of the most popular, if not the most popular gecko in the hobby, really.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, we'd be it'd be a pleasure for us to bless you with a little baby. We'll send you a picture.
That'd be amazing.
We'll send
That'd
you a
be
picture,
amazing.
and you choose. And she knows more about them than I do. So I forgot to mention that my wife breeds leopard geckos.
Yeah, you definitely failed to mention that.
Yeah, so she
That's
has
awesome.
her
That
side of
makes so
the.
much sense.
She's got her side of the shed for her animals, and I got my side of the the shed.
So how does she like the gargoyles? Does she like the gargoyles? Does she have any interest in the gargs? There you go. What's your name, by the way? I'm sorry, I'm Anthony.
I'm Sherry.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Nice meeting you. Guys, this is Eddie's wife. Say hello. You know, behind every successful man, there's a powerful woman.
Yeah, that is definitely right. Behind every successful man,
It's a fact.
there's definitely people behind that man. Strong women. You remember in the
For
beginning how I
sure.
told you it was all about the women?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
So talk to me
Yeah.
about your misting system. Yeah, you have better reception outside. The misting system on your gargoyles. What type of misting system are you running, and how often are you running your misting system? You live in Arizona. You got a whole different beast you're dealing with over there, huh? With the heat.
Yes. I run the back when Jack from Gecko to Culture uh blessed me with that mail. He recommended that I should run the Reptifoggers.
Okay.
So that's what I run, brother. I run Reptifoggers, and in the
How
beginning,
many do you use? So,
I have four Reptifoggers, and
okay.
each Reptifogger runs three setups.
Okay.
So I run with four Reptifoggers. I run 12 enclosures,
That's
um,
not bad.
but I live in Arizona. Humidity is like 2 to 5%.
None.
Yeah, so it's
Really?
like
25? That's higher than I thought.
no,
Jason lives in Arizona.
two to five
Oh,
percent.
that's what I was gonna say. 2%. Oof.
Yeah, yeah.
So what do
It's
you manage to keep the enclosures at? How big of a battle is that? You got to tell us how you're dealing with this.
oh, bro. I keep humidity over 80%.
And how are you accomplishing that? Just with the foggers? Are you doing anything else?
Yeah,
Like
I have them.
swamp coolers?
Yeah, I have a humidifier in the actual shed, running, and then I have uh majority of my enclosures are bioactive, so they're constantly being misted early in the
Helps.
morning, late at night, in between. And like I said, in the beginning, if it wasn't for the females, man, they hold down the fort. They're troopers, man. They help me out here, my girls, my wife, and they're
So
they
your
make it happen.
oldest daughter helps too.
Yeah, they make it happen. Yeah,
That's awesome. That's
yeah,
very cool, man. You got a whole family unit, man. I love when I see that, you know. I
yeah,
think that there's people underestimate the value and the beauty in that, man. Like it's a, you know, all these things is doing for you and the connections you've made and the networking you've made. Put all that aside. Look how much it's brought your family together. Look what it's doing for your family relationships, man. That's a blessing from God, man. I mean, that's a beautiful thing, man.
yeah. No, thank you, man. I appreciate it, bro. And yes, it bonds a lot of family members together, and not only that, but my wife is having family come over, and they're looking forward to see the animals, and it's like
That's cool.
connection, just bonding, right? Like
That's
it's
cool.
bringing in like all the nieces together, and the nephews.
It's teaching them something, you know? You get
Yeah.
these kids interested in that, and whether they grow up to be reptile breeders or they don't, you spark an interest and they learn, right? They want to learn, they want to explore, they want to read. They don't have to grow up to be reptile breeders, but I guarantee you, when you compare these children that had exposure to your collection versus children that went to their family's house and did nothing but sit down and play video games, you tell me who's going to be the smarter kid, right?
Oh, yes. It teaches them responsibility at such a young age, how to be responsible, how to be able to what do you call it when like not be just be able to how do you say that term?
Compassion to care for things.
Yeah, not be like selfish,
Yeah, for
you know.
sure.
And so yeah, man, there's a lot of teachings for sure, a lot of benefits.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So the little one loves them too. Then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
let
too
her
much.
help. You let her help with. You let her help
Yeah,
with feeding or watering or anything.
yeah, I let her pet. I taught her how to pet with one finger, so I grab her finger and like this.
It's
But that's about
adorable.
it. She just likes seeing and grabbing stuff. 1 year olds, get into trouble a lot. So
Uh, how long has your wife been working with the leopard geckos for? Before
um,
you were dealing with guards?
yeah, so my wife and I actually got together last year. We both started at the same time. I started with
Oh,
gargoyles,
okay, okay,
and she
okay,
started with leopards last year. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
What
So
made her pick leopard geckos?
um, I have no idea. She just it came out of her own will.
Yeah.
She
Hey,
actually is the one
they're
that
the
started. Yeah,
most popular geckos, right? Leopard geckos, I believe. Leopard geckos are the most popular gecko in captivity. Is leopard geckos.
yeah, yes,
You know, there's
definitely.
a huge market for them. If you think crested geckos are big, look at the. I mean, you know more than I do. Look at the leopard geckos, the morphs, the lines, the genes. They have the giant ones. I mean, leopard geckos have been around since I was a kid. Since the '80s, leopard geckos have been in the hobby. I mean, they're the real OGs in the gecko world. Is leopard geckos, bro.
Yeah, no, yeah. I, my wife knows more about them than I could ever know. So
You should tell her to come on the podcast one time. Tell her
yeah,
I'll do an episode with her. I get her on the podcast. She could
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about leopard geckos.
yeah. That'd be
We get
pretty.
her on the new cal the gecko exchange. I don't
Yeah,
think we haven't talked to many leopard gecko breeders, man. That'd be cool.
yeah. She knows more about it than I do. She's inside. She's just getting ready for tomorrow. My daughter's graduation or promotion from 8th grade. Yeah, yeah, that'd be pretty cool for her.
Yeah.
She's not really.
So what, are you gonna have a whole bunch of kids over? All your kids, a whole bunch of eighth graders coming over?
Yeah, yeah. A bunch of eighth
That's
graders
cool.
are
You're gonna
coming
bring the
over.
geckos out, let them play with the geckos. Nelson
Yeah.
does that. Nelson actually takes the geckos to his kids' school and he teaches them about the geckos at his daughter's school.
Wow. See, yeah, that's awesome. I don't know. That's out of my comfort zone.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if I have the. I'm not there yet. Yeah,
I
man.
hear you. Here, this free screen stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely some courage of Nelson for sure.
Oh, so here's your fogger system right here. This is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, this
Each
is cool.
progress.
And you made all these enclosures. These are all conversion kits, right? You made, I remember when you posted, I remember when you made these.
Yeah. So I reached out to Dale from Tomorrow
Walk
Designs.
us through this. Yeah, walk us through this. Explain this. Tell us where you got the doors, how you went about this, why you went this route. Tell us about this whole thing.
Yeah. So it's definitely an amazing story because um I
It's a
was looking at
beautiful
setups and they
enclosure.
were super expensive, and I was like, do I either went all out on my enclosures or I went all out on my breeders or my stock. So I decided to go all out on my geckos. So I had a compromise for the enclosures. So I went to Lee Engel's Ever Evolving Exotics, and he kind of mentored me through, and along with Project Habitats and other folks in the community, just learning. And once I kind of dialed in and I had an idea what I was going to do, I just bought a bunch of 10-gallon aquarium tanks,
And
the
you're
bottom
breaking
ones.
up terrible, bud. You're breaking up terrible. I can't hear you.
All right, let me get
I'm
closer.
sorry, bro. I'm so sorry, man.
No,
I
you're good.
feel
You're
so
good.
bad.
You're good. I'm gonna come closer to my Wi-Fi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
So these doors, did he come from these two from the ever evolving exotics? Did he make these doors too? These conversion kits?
No, Ever Evolving, he makes enclosures, but it's more of how to do it, right? Like the steps, the process, like the layering of the substrate and education. And along with Project Habitats, mentorship, right? Learning how these things work, what to put in there, what plants. And once I had enough knowledge from both guys, I was able to just buy 10-gallon aquariums. The bottom ones are 20 gallons. And then I reached out through PH, Project Habitats. I was able to communicate with Dale from Tomorrow Designs. And we just said, hey, we need a bunch of 10s and 20-gallon conversion kits. And I'd like to hook up Repti foggers to it. We need holes this size for the foggers, and he did the custom work, and he sent a cool shirts, and he was more than happy to send the orders over, and I started building the whole setup along with like I mentioned, Jack had mentioned use Repti foggers, and a lot of cool people in the hobby, man. They were just like putting input, like everybody put in like a cent, 2 cent, and you gather up all those cents, right? And then you come up with this crazy setup.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's not just me, brother. It's through
they're
the effort of
beautiful,
everybody's
dude.
recommendations.
They're beautiful setups, Eddie. I mean, they're
And I will say
wonderful.
this: one of the key difference of that setup that really stands out the most was that I added Japanese rock. I wanted the geckos to actually not only feel the ground, but feel a different kind of texture. The cork
What's that
bark.
dragonstone? What do they call that?
It's
Dragonstone?
that's called man, I'm gonna butcher this, but Siriu. It's a Japanese rock, Siriu,
Okay,
and it gives the gecko other textures feel, right?
sure,
Like
sure,
you got rocks, you got cork bark, you got the
sure.
substrate, you got the plants, you got the glass. I mean, this thing is just, it ain't perfect, brother, but man, the thought of
It is.
combining
It makes
uh
sense. People don't think of that. The mental stimulation, the
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
the what that does, just using different textures and I mean that's huge. How do those? And I don't want to get off track, but how do those conversion kits connect to the glass? How, or the tank rather? How does that fasten to your tank?
for sure, brother. So the aquariums have a little lip,
Yup, the little ledge.
right? And these little conversion kits, man, you set them on there and they fit perfect, like a glove. And you grab silicone, and you with the silicone gun, and you just put a bead all the way around, and you set those conversion kits on top, and you just let them dry, and they'll seal,
They're
man.
beautiful. You get more view. I got the Exoterras. I got 35 of the Exoterras, and I lose that space where the the doors open on top and then the bottom. I mean, technically it's both glass, but like you have a much better view with yours than I do with mine.
Oh man, believe it or not, bro. I mean, like I said, each tank was the 10 gallons were $15.
How much you pay for the doors, if you don't mind me asking?
I think there were 45 bucks. So 10, I mean 15 plus 45, what is that? Uh
Dude, I pay like almost $250 an enclosure, bro.
yeah, brother.
And those look better. They hold humidity better. You don't got to freaking screen top.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it was
perfect
definitely a
for
game
you in
changer for me.
Arizona too. I'm sure that played a big factor. Being in Arizona, you wanted to keep more humidity than you know than you could with a screen top. And I would with me out here, it's brilliant for a lot of reasons. Brilliant in so many ways.
Yeah, yeah, I had to uh just make, it's you know how it is, brother. You grow up in humble beginnings, and you got to make a lemonade out of the lemons that you're
Damn
given,
sure do.
and you just got to enjoy, make something beautiful of per se, just something so economical.
Damn sure do. So your whole outhouse, your shed is insulated too. It's all drywalled and insulated and everything.
Oh, brother, like I mentioned, one of my strongest talents are communication and networking, and I met a lot of paisanos out here, folks from the homeland country, and I put these guys to work, man. I'll be like, these people need money, they need work, and once I got my shed, I had strong connections with all the paisanos here, and you know, um, hey man, can you insulate this? Can you run the electrical? Can you do this? Man, they finish that thing in a day, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Truth.
people
Dudes are
are,
the truth,
bro.
bro.
People are always looking for opportunities, and it's
Sure.
it's like you provide the work, and it like
For
it
sure.
is an open door for everybody.
For sure.
But
So what
man,
is
these
that? A
guys,
mini split right there? What type of air conditioning unit you using in there? It's just a regular air conditioner. What do you got going on for air up there?
yeah, that's a It's a humidifier. It's a
Oh, it
heater.
is.
It's a
Oh, there your
AC.
light went on.
It's one of those units that does almost all in one.
Why do all the hoses go up to the ridge for? What's going on up there?
Okay, so this is why people do not like humid I guess not specific the brand, but with the fogging. So what happens is there condensation builds up from the fog, right? Those hoses have ridges, yeah, and it accumulates the condensation of the water molecules. And then what happens? It clogs up the lines. So you have to have gravity, um, naturally kind of drain the water down, if that makes sense.
Sure, sure.
So by elevating it up like this at a like a Christmas tree, it allows gravity just to
Just
continually
bring it
just
back down. Yeah,
force that water down.
sure. Let's talk about lighting. What are you using for lighting? I mean, you have plants, so you clearly have to have grow lights. Do you use UVB? What are you using for light? Maybe heating? Talk us through your lighting setup.
Yeah, honestly, it's nothing special. It's just um uh the what do you call it? The aquarium lights, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, but here the just by opening the window on that shed, it is so, you know how it is. Well, Arizona, it's really bright. It's really strong, and just from that window supplies everybody with enough UVB exposure. But that's why I have a shade there. But it's just aquarium lights.
Okay. T5s, T8s. They're are you using LEDs? You using LEDs or are you using? Oh, you are. Okay. I think these things are beautiful, Eddie. I think you did a
Thank you, brother.
phenomenal job, bro. I really do. I think they're incredible. They're incredible.
That I mean, those kits were designed for my uh for that build that I did, man. I had to custom order, and Dell from Tamar Designs, uh he just went to town on the custom order that I did, that I placed the order. He made it happen for me because majority of the kits out there, they don't sell them with those holes, with those accessory holes.
I was just going to ask about that. So you knew you were getting these foggers before you had them because they drilled that hole for you.
Yes, yes. You can't, before you couldn't buy them. Like, remember how I told you about like being a pioneer, paving your own
Yeah.
road? That was
Yep.
one of that just comes to show you an example of that right there.
Now, do they sell them? Do they make them and offer them to the public now because you had to make them for you?
You still have to probably ask for it.
Oh,
Yeah, because majority of the people they're not doing what I like that setup right there, you know?
that's awesome. So how often do you run the foggers?
Every day, bro, because it's the here humidity, like I said, is 2 to
Yeah.
5%. So I have to make sure I keep those levels where I want to.
Just once a day though, or you run it like do you have it set up to a thermostat or something? It just goes on automatically, or you have it on timers?
Honestly, you probably won't believe me, but I go in there, I turn them on for 5 to 7 minutes. That's it. They're really efficient, super
You got
efficient.
lychees too?
Yeah, yeah. I got that. I got lychees from a breeder, a well-known breeder established, raspberry geckos, and
What?
that female right there, I got that from a friend. I'm gonna shout him out. Hashtag geckos. I
What is
got
this?
that
The
from him.
Pine Island? What does this say? Does it say here?
Uh, I don't. That lychee came from. He told me he got that from Troy's geckos.
Damn, Troy's geckos is
Yeah.
incredible bloodlines, incredible genetics. So you don't know a locale, just a no locale specific, just high
Right.
color, or
Yeah. I think it's what Nuana mix.
yeah. Sometimes like you have with the lychees, I've got six of them or something like that, and a lot of people, I want to say a lot of people, but some people are either like locale specific, like they only want pure localities, and then the other people like the designer stuff where they're bred for color and they're
Yes.
which are the majority of them are mixed localities because they've took certain lines and certain locales and crossed them to enhance colors and whatnot, color and pattern. And these animals seem to have both color and pattern.
Yeah. That was definitely um
They're
something
beautiful.
of mine there where I told myself, you know what, I want some lychees, and I'm gonna first get a pair for color, and then my second breeding would be more of like the along the lines you had mentioned.
Yeah,
Like
like localities.
yeah, I want like a nice dark with color and like a specific locale, if that
Like
makes
a
sense.
Pondeme or something like
Yeah,
that. A
yeah,
Bogus. Those things are like, 5 grand, 8 grand a pop,
yeah. If you go to the one, that one right there, that one came from raspberries geckos. But
Raspberry makes some of the most crazy lychees I've ever seen. Like,
another friend of mine, Gecko Smith, he's the one that referred me to raspberry, and
really?
to
Gecko
him.
Smith, Smitty?
Yeah,
James?
yeah.
That's my boy. Yeah.
He referred me, and I was able to grab this guy right here. It's known his neon snowflake line. I think that's what it's called. And I mean that man, that he's 69 grams, and I never had
How
lychees,
old
but
is
that
he?
one he was born last year, I believe. Last year, yeah, he's a year and a half, I think. Uh,
Beautiful. Do you
but
like them? How do you like the lychees?
oh, bro, I don't know if I can talk about this on the podcast, but I feed them pinkies, and they just destroy it.
Why not?
I have
I,
like a little Aztec type of sacrifice temple that I bring them out, put the pinkies on top, and then just like go to town. It's pretty gnarly, but it's awesome, man. It's you see nature like at
for
like
sure.
yeah, it is absolutely a sight to see.
Sure. They're again, I keep like 15, 16 different species of geckos, and I think that every one of them has something unique and beautiful about them. But Leachianis are I just got my first clutch of eggs. I got eggs incubating from one of my pairs, and I'm like so excited, dude. I'm like
Yeah.
like a kid. I'm like I just want. I'm like so excited to hatch Leachianis geckos. But they're I love them. I love them. I love my lychees. I keep them in these big old 48-inch glass, fully planted tanks, man. They're like little jungles,
Oh
rainforests.
man, that's awesome. Yeah, I may have to reach out to you in the future for some questions because see
Sure.
that's I have him in a 20-gallon, which is bigger, double the size of my 10 gallons.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's another topic for a different day. I'll hit you up on the
Yeah, for
DM.
sure. I'm always, if you know me, man, if I can help, I answer any question I can if I can help.
Yeah,
I keep, like I said, just about everything. Well, the trackies I don't keep just because of how expensive they are. The rough snouts, I guess they call them, is like the common name. The rough snout geckos from New Caledonia, the ones that give live birth. I
yeah,
don't have those because they're again like 10
yeah.
grand a piece.
Yeah.
But
Those
all the
things.
others, Saracenorums, I love Saracenorums. I love Chihuahuas. Chihuahuas are my favorite without a doubt. I love Chihuahuas. I got the Gargs, I got the crested geckos, I got the Eurodactylotes. They're all cool and they're all so different.
How do you feel about the lychees? You like the lychees?
Love them. Love them. I
They're
love them.
huge, right? You put them on your arm, and they're like take your whole entire forearm.
So far, I mean, depending on the locality, but I have a GTA female, and she's like 320 grams, dude. She's like,
Oh
yeah,
my!
she is as big as my forearm, man. She's as
Oh,
big as my forearm all day, yeah.
that's crazy. That guy's like
She's a
16 grand.
sweetheart. She's a sweetheart.
Wow.
But the thing is, with those big localities, I got to be honest. I mean, I think they're beautiful, but they're nothing like your animals, with all the color and the bars. Like she's just big and green. She's just a big green gecko.
Gotcha.
Well, I
Okay.
think it's beautiful. Either way, I think she's beautiful. But they just don't have the color and the patterns. Like all the color and the pattern ones are like your smaller. Not that they can't get big. You can still probably get a 300 gram, 250, which is a huge gecko. With all the color and stuff.
Yeah.
The big black ones you'll see like 400 grams, the big Mount Codis and Pondeme and those the Dark Morph and all that stuff. They're Darth Maul, the Darth line. Those things are sick,
What do you
sick.
think? So that breeder, Cody from Raspberries, I reached out to him, and I'm gonna save up some money, but he's got this crazy line called the male raspberry.
Thing's insane.
Bro, these things get black and they got like color bars, and it is absolutely just next level stuff. Um, I don't know too much about them, but once I saw them, I was like, you know what? That wouldn't be a bad lychee to have in the collection.
I want to see if I can find them. Raspberry.
It's with a Z, Razz. And as soon as you go on there, it's like the first two. I think it's like the first lychee he has on there. I mean, look at that thing. Holy cow!
Insane. Insane. What does he say? It says, yep, prehistorical. So it is. It's a melanistic high color.
And, I mean, I just look at those geckos, man. They're just so big.
They
It's
really,
beautiful.
yeah, see, my girl's like that, probably a little bigger than that, but that's no, nothing like that color. That's mind blowing. Mind blown to see color on an animal that big. That's
That's crazy.
gorgeous. But see, they have longer tails, like the GTAs and the bigger geckos. They're shaped a little different than some of the insular island ones, the ones from the surrounding islands in New Caledonia, like the
Yeah.
Nuami, the Nuana. Like all those are like little, they're smaller but more color.
Yeah. Wow.
Pine Island are beautiful too. You should look at Pine Island. Pine Island get pretty big, probably like 300 to maybe 350 grams, but
Okay.
they have a lot of like white barring, a lot of white color. They're
Okay.
super cool, super super cool.
Yeah, for sure. I've been looking. I get fascinated
See
because I
this
have
one?
another friend,
Yeah.
Ryan Reezy. He's all about lychees, and he's been my mentor and kind of teaching me all these cool things. And I've been looking into like Koreans, their lychees, overseas. I've been looking everything here, but I keep coming back to Cody's raspberry line.
If I mean, it's hard to say, man, because there's nothing like it out there, and a lot of breeders do make some phenomenal animals. There's plenty of breeders out there, but if you wanted like the best of the best, right? Like, I mean, I got a lot of good friends that breed Leachianus, and I'm not saying anything bad about any of them. None of them are quite making anything like this. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's something that I'm something. How do you say it? Like you're appreciating something. You know how people like kind of lose something and then they kind of miss it because they didn't know what they had.
For sure, for sure.
Well, I'm the opposite. It's like I want to appreciate them now. you know.
Hey, if you can and you have the means, why not? God bless. Why the hell? Why not?
Oh man, I'm burnt out right now, bro. I like I said, I dropped like 45K on my whole collection, and it's been man, I pretty much printed money last summer and the whole year, just knocking on doors for like, hey, your pony needs this, hey, your pony needs that, hey, I can do this, and I just got burnt out from just too many projects, man. And
Hey, God
um,
bless you having a skill,
thank you.
right? Thank God you
Yeah.
got a skill and means to do it. I swing a hammer for a living. When I got into the Chihuahuas, man, I spent 3 years and probably 40 grand buying Chihuahuas, man. I got 30 of them, but
Oh wow.
I spent a lot of money buying Chihuahuas, man. At the time when I started collecting them, you couldn't get a baby Chihuahua for less than $1,000, man. A
Wow.
Pine Island,
That's
Pine Island was
easy.
$1,000 all day, for a baby. Now prices have settled down, but
Yeah. Well, man, to be fair though, I think you said about like 3 years, so you've dialed back 3 years from 2025. That puts you at like 2022, 2021. That's what happened during those times, and
yeah,
and everything was up
for sure, for sure.
because of the whole. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it,
Probably
but
longer, right before COVID. I started getting them
yeah,
right before COVID, so I got to see how the price took off. They
yeah,
went from like 1,000 to 2,500,
that's
like almost overnight. When I
wow,
started
that's
finding they were
crazy.
about $1,000, COVID hit. $2,500 to, I think, the most expensive gecko to date. I don't know if it was LAC Herbst that sold them. Someone sold a gecko for like 50 grand, a Chihuahua, for $50,000 for one Chihuahua.
Dang,
It went to Korea. It got sold to Korea.
$50,000.
50 grand. 50 grand.
That's crazy. I was talking to Jake from Red Rack, and he was telling me that he sold a gecko for like $28,000. Originally, he had negotiated for like 34 G's, and they settled in at 28.
Oh, that guard, right? That guard, that one of them guards, the
Yeah, one
red
of them
guard you had.
crazy red female gargs.
Yeah.
It was absolutely like mind-boggling, right? Like I wasn't around. I was hustling. I was building my company in that time, but I couldn't even imagine, man. Like holy cow.
Do you talk to Bobby from Gecko Cove?
Oh yeah, 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 Bobby.
So
Yeah,
Bobby's a good kid too to kick ideas around with, and
yeah, yeah, for
he's
sure.
a visionary also.
Yeah, I think.
Well, this is yours too.
Oh no, no, that's still in
Oh, I'm
Red
looking at
Series
someone else's
account.
page. I'm sorry. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I
yeah,
got distracted there.
yeah, yeah. There's definitely pretty cool. Man, those lychees are
That's a
definitely just.
Shinosaurus. That's a Chinese water monitor. So look at this. Wow.
Yeah, that's the
What the
neon line.
hell is this?
Yeah, that's the male I have. The
This is
one
the
of those
one you
babies.
have. I was gonna
Like,
say this is the line you have.
yeah, that's the line. But mine's still a baby, so it's still maturing.
That's beautiful, Eddie.
That's crazy, right? That's crazy. And man, I like I can't
I almost
explain to you.
prefer that over the color, man. That's gorgeous, dude.
Yeah, 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 definitely, man. I believe it or not, man, I actually came in on I got a deal on that neon he sold me because I guess sales weren't doing that well and but like like everything's cyclical, same thing with every business, you got your highs, you got your lows. I think it's
For
just
sure.
it's if you're a
For sure.
smart man, a smart person to invest, you want to invest when times are difficult, but in order to get there,
Right
you,
now.
you have to prepare yourself, right? Like you have to prepare yourself for those times. Like the Korean
Sure.
geckos, when I got my pair, I bought those when it was cold, when everybody was broke. They had just bought all the gifts for Christmas. Everybody gets broke after like Christmas, right?
You
They
know how to read the market.
Yeah, and I'm out
Yeah.
here just like, dude, like, give me this gecko. Let me get that one.
Yeah.
But it's just it takes preparation. It takes discipline. But man, I know I can keep talking, but man, I just I can't tell you and can't thank you enough that not just me, but I network through the trenches in the reptile community, and what I mean about that is I talk to breeders that are up and coming, majority that are up and coming, starting,
Good.
learning. You get those bunch of DMs. They ask you questions. So sometimes it gets a little bit too much when you're out working. You point out, hey, I can point you in this right direction. Go check out this. And most of the times, man, it's refreshing to be like, hey, go check out the Gecko Exchange podcast. And it's like, hey, they were talking about Iceman. I was like, no way. Or like so and so would be like, yeah, I think they mentioned Iceman in one of the podcasts, one of
Yeah,
the
I did.
episodes.
I was curious because I was asking some people, like I said, a few of your animals. You have some interesting stuff, and I'm always thinking of other people's animals. I get a lot of joy out of other people having great animals. Like I am happy. I am extremely happy that you, a man that in theory I've never met in person, has good animals. I am ecstatic for you. I don't get jealous. I don't get mad. I am glad you have something. That's a new brain, a new mind, and a new person working with something that can ultimately change this for all of us, right? If you discover something, it changes the game for everybody. Why should I not want you to win? So I'm always looking and asking people too. I've used this little platform to network like yourself and ask people. And if I have the opportunity to ask somebody who's had some incredible experience with these animals that would help you, why should I not? I want to help you. Like let me see what I can find out for Eddie. Maybe someone knows about this. Maybe Eddie hasn't showed him this animal. What do you guys think about this? Have you seen his animal? Go check it out, man. Look at this animal. This might be something to do. Let's work together here.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm really happy for like what this platform brings to you, and I seen what it has done. Like based off like like I said, it's very therapeutic. And I've spoken to your friend Jason, and
Yeah,
he's an
yeah.
awesome
He's a good
dude. He
kid.
lives here in the same state where I live in
Yep, yep,
Arizona,
yep.
and
He's a
I
good
never had
connection.
the
Jason knows a lot of people too. Jason's a good connect to have just because you can ask Jason a question about anything. He'll be the first one to tell you, I don't know, but call this person, talk to this person, or this person. Like he knows exactly where to direct you if he doesn't have the answer, you know. And he's a plethora of knowledge too. He's got books, right? Like he's got books. If he reads something about an animal, he don't even have to
oh,
keep
dude.
that animal. He'll print it out. He'll put it in his folder. He keeps,
Yeah,
Jay's on some other shit. He's
you
on a
look at
whole
him,
other
bro.
level.
When I look at him, bro, I just see an aurora of like knowledge. I just see he just glows, right? Like of knowledge. I was like, bro, like,
He
dude,
keeps
like,
geckos. The majority of his collection, Eddie, I can't even pronounce the freaking names of them, let alone know anything about them. He's got so much other. He's but that's what he does. It's beautiful. That's what his passion is to work with animals and bring animals to the light that people know nothing about. You know,
yeah, yeah. No,
and
he's
it's
he's
not
a
a money
man.
game. It's not who got the most expensive bento gecko. He don't care about that. He don't care about genes or morphs or anything like that. He's all about animals, isolated locations and minuscule populations. He's all about like it's very scientific. He's got a very science-minded way about him, and it's good to work with, because I'm completely different. I like the popular stuff. I like the flashy stuff. I like, so we both bring something different to the table, and we both learn. We both, like you said before, well, you can work by yourself or you work with a team. We
Yes.
happen to be a team that specializes in two different areas. Now you take that together. Now we cover a broader area. It works.
Yeah, no
It
doubt.
works well.
I see it. I see what you're doing. Like I said, you work together as a team, you go further, right? If you want to go faster, you might want to work alone, but that would only get you so far, right? But, having him as part of your team, like you said, it just opens up a plethora of like, dude, now we cover like a whole bunch of like species that brings in a lot of connections, networks, education, knowledge. What does knowledge bring? Power, man. And what does power
Absolutely.
bring? Like, pretty cool stuff in the
Absolutely.
reptile. But yeah, man, I can't wait
Absolutely.
to meet him. Anytime I hit him up in the DMs, he's always on the. He's got a trigger finger. He'll be like, do 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 do, reply
Yeah,
real
Jay's a
quick.
cool kid, man. That's how
Yeah.
we met over the internet, man. He was keeping chihuahuas at the time. I was getting into chihuahuas, and we would like comment on the same posts, like other people's posts, and someone would say something, and people would just assume that it was a fact because someone said it, and me and Jason will both have questions. Well, if this is this and this is this, why has no one thought of this and no one's thinking of that? And our conversations and chats led to conversations amongst ourselves, and we were like, yo, like there's a lot of stuff people aren't paying attention to, man. Like, let's start a podcast, man. Let's get people out here. It's just not about what we know. We want, like you're saying, as a team, we want the whole gecko community to be one team. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if we took, like you're saying, all the knowledge we all have and we put it all together. Imagine how smart we would be if everyone just stopped gatekeeping and started sharing what they know.
Yeah, no, yeah, no doubt. Unfortunately, there's a bunch of personal stuff like egotistical stuff. Like
There
it
is.
just
You're
gets the
right.
best
You're
out of
right.
people.
You're right.
It just it is what it is, bro. I see that. I see that, and unfortunately, that's what happens, and it's hard. But like the people that do bond together, network, and grow together, man,
Team. That's your people.
it's a different
That's your
aurora,
people.
bro. Like you
That's
can just
just
tell off the bat, man. You can just tell, like, oh man, dude, so and so, like, I can't wait to say well because I want an animal from that dude, or whatever it is,
yeah, you should
But
definitely talk to Mark, man. Mark from the Gecko Room.
Mark from the
Mark,
guy.
don't
Okay,
forget Mark. Mark is one of these. You'll see once you talk to him. You'll see.
okay.
Again, he doesn't focus in gargs. I believe he has some, but just his approach, his thought processes will get you thinking. It'll get you thinking. It'll get you outside the box. He has a plethora of knowledge. He works with probably 30 different species of geckos. He's a good mind when it comes to the thinking and networking and that whole joint forces thing. Mark's big on that.
Yeah, for sure. I'll send him a DM and get to know him. I think I've seen a couple of his lives. I think I'm
Yeah,
not
he
too
was
sure.
doing a podcast. Him and Quincy, the Gecko Nerd, Quincy from
Okay,
the
yeah,
Gecko
yeah.
Nerd.
The Gecko Nerd.
They
Yeah,
had a podcast, and then I don't know what happened. I think jobs changed, schedules changed, or something, and they just didn't have time to do it anymore. But I used to love that podcast myself. I thought it was great, man. I tell them all the time, both you guys need to do something, start it up, because I can listen to them either or, both of them together, or either or, talk for hours.
yeah, bro. I honestly, man, I love your podcast because when I'm out there servicing pools and working, and I'm gonna put this out there straight to anybody that listens to your podcast. Send me a DM if you want to talk geckos, reptiles. I have all the time in the world. I'm dying
There
to
you
talk
go.
to people. Like my
There you
friends
go.
that talk to me daily, they probably get tired of me, bro. They get tired of me because I have so much free time. But I work to get there, right? I put in the work. I put in the sacrifices to be where I am. It didn't come overnight. It wasn't handed to me, right? Like
That's what people need
humble
to
beginnings,
understand, for
humble
sure.
beginnings, appreciation, knowing where to capitalize. And I'm about to be 40, but because of the sacrifices I've made, I've now have the career that I have. I'm able to now enjoy some of that time, but I can multitask. But while I'm working and cleaning pools, I was like, I got headphones. I was like, man, I want to talk to so and so, like, can somebody talk to me? Like, I'm just down to talk about geckos, like, I want to talk, but, majority of the people have jobs and those jobs require their attention to be at their job, right? Like, you know, uh, I clean a pool, so
It's
I
hard
can't
for
text.
me, man. I work with my hands.
Yeah, I can't text, but I could talk, I can talk. And, so if I wake up at 3:30 in the morning, and
Yes.
like I'll call like friends from Spain that I know it's like a different time zone.
Don't call me at
Yeah,
E3 in the morning.
because of the temperature, right? Like I got to beat the heat, or if I want to work out, I got to make sure I start early, get my workout in. When I come home, I can dedicate my time to my family and my reptiles, and I don't have to worry about working out. I already
Looks
that
like you got life balance, and I believe in,
yeah.
I'm a big advocate in balance. Life is all about balance. If you want to live a successful life, you can do everything you want as long as you balance it properly. You have to put yourself first, even as a family man. You cannot be a good father if you are not the best you possible. I'm a huge advocate in physical fitness. I believe in physical fitness. I believe in, physical fitness leads to mental fitness, mental strength. Um, I obviously believe in family. I believe in my God. I believe in a higher power. Um, it's balance, and I work a full time job and I take care of 200 geckos every day. I got a dog that's like my son. I got, and
Your
it's
daughters,
all.
you got your
She's at
family, like you
school
said.
now. She's
Yeah.
in schools, but it's like again, it's my wife, a family. Like I said, I got a family. It's all balance. You can't jeopardize one for another. Or I mean, you can, but you're not gonna be happy if you don't. You just and everybody requires little differences. But we all have to find that lifestyle balance, that balance. And it seems like you have it under control. It seems like you have a good
Well,
grasp on
I'm really
balance.
hungry. I'm really hungry to talk to people. And I
Learn,
was
you
hoping
gotta
I could bring this up on your podcast. Just anybody out there that,
sure.
that wants to talk, man. I genuinely mean it. Like, send me a DM. I'm down to talk all day if you want to.
There you go, guys. If you want to talk, man, and I know we're not the only ones. If you got free time and something crosses your mind and you got a question, sometimes it's beneficial to just ask someone else. You're not a burden. There's plenty of people out there that are like game to talk geckos at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on any given Tuesday, 6 in the morning on a Wednesday, find your people, reach out to people. Eddie's giving you an open door right now. talk geckos, guys. Let's get the conversation going. The more we talk, the more we learn. It's it all goes hand in hand, man. And ultimately, it's for everyone's benefit. It's for all of our benefit. And the more conversations we're having, the more things are getting explored, the better off we all are. That's just a fact.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not no expert, but I just like talking geckos and same thing with turtles. I talk turtles all day,
That's
geckos all
cool.
day, and
That's
you know,
cool.
depending on the hour of the day when I wake up, I'm like, oh, so and so from this country is awake, or every hour that passes by is like, okay, now it's like Europe, okay, now it's the States, now it's like Mexico, now it's like every time the
That's
hand
awesome.
moves,
How's
it
the reptile hobby in Mexico? How is the reptile community in Mexico? Is it big? Is it growing?
it's growing. It's growing,
Really?
and a lot of people probably think it's not big, but it's growing for
I
sure.
hear
It's
ball
growing.
pythons and leopard geckos are pretty popular in Mexico
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, it's growing, and I had a guy reach out to me. He wants to feature me in his podcast
Shit.
from Mexico, and I, I thought that was pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I can't wait for that to launch too. So
What's the podcast? What's it called?
I'm sorry, what was that, bro?
What's the podcast called? I'm
It's
always
called
looking for new podcasts too.
Reptile.
I don't listen to myself. I love looking for other podcasts.
It's called Reptiles Mexico. I'll
Ooh,
yeah, he's an up and coming guy too. Um
that's cool. I listen
yeah,
to him.
yeah, and well, I still haven't heard from him, but I'm pretty sure he's busy too because he relocated.
Yeah, I
Um
want to write that down. I got to find a piece of paper.
I'll send you a DM, bro. I'll
Yeah,
send you.
please,
Yeah,
please, if you
yeah,
don't mind, please.
yeah. I'll
Any
send.
other ones you know too that I don't know? I love any podcast you listen to or something like that I may not know about. Shoot it to me. I support all these guys, man. I'll listen to them all. Because at
The
work I can't talk or do anything, but I can listen to stuff, and I love listening to podcasts. I
the
don't really listen to the Gecko Pod. I got my reasons, but I'm looking for any other podcast I can listen to.
I think he even had Tiki on there too. David.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, shit. Do you
yeah.
ever watch the Gecko Diva? Do you listen to the Gecko Diva?
No, no, I never heard.
Check
Like
that out.
never.
It's another
Okay,
podcast, another
I'll
Gecko
check it out
podcast.
for
Yeah,
sure.
she's in Canada. They're from Canada.
Okay,
Out of Canada. But she does a
I'll give it
good
a.
show. She does a good job. Yeah.
I'll definitely tune into all the recommendations you give me. But yeah, brother, I'm gonna wrap things up here. I know you got things to do, and
Absolutely.
I wanna respect your time.
It's a
And
complete pleasure, brother. Complete pleasure,
y-
man. I respect everything you're doing, Eddie. Keep up the good work. If you don't recognize it, just know that other people do. I've been watching you from the beginning, man. I watch what you've done. I watch how you do it, and I love everything you've been doing, man. I have nothing but respect for you, man. Keep up the good work. Keep thinking. Keep talking. And I'm here. Anytime you got a question or anytime you got something you want to hop on the podcast and share, anytime you got ideas,
yeah,
we'd do it.
yeah, yeah, for sure, man. I
You got
appreciate
any
that, and
shout outs anywhere? Let
I
everybody
do,
know where they can
man.
find you. Let
I feel like
everybody.
you were reading my heart, man. I feel like you were reading my heart. Yeah, I definitely want to give it a shout out to all the homies in the trenches. Uh, I want to get this account off my chest first because she lost her husband. Grotesque. Have you heard of her account? The Gargoyle Grotesque. I want to give a shout out to her. She just lost her husband, so she's been
Sorry,
battling
bro.
that depression. But aside from that, I want to give a shout out to all my team members: Red Rack, Redline Raptors, Gargantuan, Project Habitats, Cali Herbs, and then all the friends that follow me: Ryan Reezy, John Pasula, Killer Exotics, Bobby Kovic, Miller Geckos. Man, there's so many names, bro. Like I don't want to
Well,
miss
yeah,
out
wrap them
anybody,
all off, man. Don't miss
but
anybody. Don't leave them out. The
yeah,
stage is
if I'm
yours,
missing,
brother. Stage
if
is
I'm
yours.
missing anybody, it's just I don't mean harm or anything, but Gecko Smith is another one. Fig Eater. Um, man, there's so many cool names out there that they're just man, they're up and coming breeders that definitely have a passion.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Gecko Monster, um,
Mauricio.
Mauricio, and my Spain brothers from Spain, AP Reptiles, Andy Geckos, and Vico Exotics. Pete Exotics, and I think that's about it from the ones from Spain, and then from Europe. This guy, I hold him to my heart because he breeds terrapins and he breeds gargoyles too, kind of like what I
Oh
do.
shit.
It's called The Living Art. He's from Greece, bro. Greece. The Living Art. Check it out. He's got some pretty cool stuff, and he's got like he inherited like his family's business, and he's got these cool Airbnbs like off like kind of like when you see movies off like like near the shoreline and stuff like that.
Oh, in Greece. In Greece?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
This guy has been
shit. The hell's the name of that place? I
this
got a
guy's been a
buddy that owns
buddy.
a bunch of places over there
Yeah,
too, man. But
this guy's been a buddy of mine since like 2022, man. Just following me, supporting me, man, dude. Like all these guys just coming from the trenches. Like I feel like those guys that are up and coming, they appreciate you, hold you to heart. Like they're like your number one fans.
sure.
And a shout out to Dale from Tamura Designs for helping me out in my
Incredible
project.
cages, man. Incredible
And
work. Incredible work, guys.
especially and foremost, all my female reptile breeders: Renee's Reptile, Grotesque, Centaur Gargs, Owl Crested. Um, there's so many female breeders out there.
Cool.
The list is too long,
We're getting
but
ready to do a whole series. I racked up for the whole month of June, all female breeders, man, to highlight female breeders in the hobby. So all of June, I've got probably 10 or 15 different female breeders lined up for podcasts, man. It's
yeah, I
they do
females
incredible work, man.
number
Again,
one. I admire a lot of females because of their power. They're people like men are strong, but it takes more than strength, right? Like mentalness,
sure.
responsibility. Like the our weaknesses are where some of these women, man, like they're even stronger than us, right? Like the willpower,
Wax.
like just being raised by like a mom, right? Or an aunt or a grandmother or a sister. Like man, dude, like I was raised by nothing but females. Even when I had jobs, all my bosses were females. And I think that didn't happen for a coincidence. You know what I mean?
Raises a different type of man, that's for sure. I was raised by
Yeah.
a bunch of women too. My family's 16 women, 16 girls, and then there's 4 boys. Me and my 3 younger brothers, the only boys, 16 girls. So I know what it is. It just raises a different type of man. You appreciate, like I said, it's almost unfortunate that I have to have this conversation, but and excuse my language, but my family, they are badass bitches. Like they're all doctors, lawyers, real estate agents. They don't need no men for nothing.
There you
These
go.
women,
Exactly.
these
Yes.
women are monsters. They don't
Yes, bro. Ruthless, bro. Ruthless. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is mine. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna chase my dreams.
facts,
I'm gonna
facts,
at all costs. It's gonna get done.
facts,
And yeah,
facts.
bro. It's truly amazing, bro. And like I said, I couldn't have gone this far if it wasn't for all the people I mentioned. And I apologize if I left any names out there, but just know that everybody's in my heart, and anybody that sends me DMs or hits a like, I truly, truly treasure every follow, every support, because it's kind of like a tree, right? Like, it's all like roots connected together, growing and growing, and then eventually, you get fruit. But
Sure,
but yeah, brother, I appreciate your time. Thank you for
absolutely,
having me on your platform.
absolutely,
I can't wait to just hear what other guests you'll have on the podcast, because
absolutely.
I listen to every episode. So you
I
know,
appreciate it. I hope you know how
yeah,
much I appreciate it, man. I genuinely do. It means the world to me, man. And anybody out there that's not following Eddie, go on over to Sergeant. You call it Sergeant, or you just run off SGT.
I just run off SGT
SGT.
Terrapins,
So go check out SGT
geckos,
Terrapins. Some
or
Terrapins
geckos.
on IG. Follow him. Talk to him. Great page. I mean, even his aesthetics. I mean, he's got a really nice page, man. It's very well done. It's something you enjoy looking at. I love when he makes a new post. I love how he does his, he advertises and highlights his animals. I mean, we can all learn something from each other. And he's definitely got some stuff that we could all learn from, man. I mean, he's got a very unique style, his enclosure setups, everything. Go check his page out, guys. You tell me I'm wrong. Go check him out. Give him a follow. Give him some likes. Let's just show each other some love, man. This is what this is all about. Show
Amen,
each
brother.
other love in this hobby. All right, brother. Again, complete pleasure talking to you. I'm sure this won't be the last time. And keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. Thank you for your time, bro. And
Absolutely.
I'll link up with you so I can send you that gift.
For
That I
sure.
promised.
Don't end. Hang on for a minute. I want to make sure everything uploads. So once I stop recording, we'll just hang on for 1 second. All right,
Okay,
guys.
brother.
Peace out. Appreciate all of you. For the bottom of my heart, honestly, every single one of you that follows, likes, subscribes to the channel, you guys mean the world to me, man. I wouldn't have this without you, and I hope you guys are getting something from this because I'm genuinely doing it for you, man. Take care of yourselves. Have a safe weekend. And most importantly, stay weird, man. Stay true to you. Stay unique. Peace.